few weeks ago, I saw Becca Day's video about Paolo Zampolli, how he abandoned his ex-girlfriend and now there's a big custody battle, and I thought, wow, that guy's a huge asshole. And then I moved on with my life. And then I started digging. And now I want to get off Mr. Zampoli's wild ride. I'm Christopher Russell. I have a law degree from Wake Forest University and I held a top secret clearance with the Departments of Defense and State. Becca's a good friend. She saw some of my videos and followed me back. She's awesome. But this blows. This man sucks, and it has been incredibly difficult to find even the simplest details about his life. Did you know that he came from Milan? Did you know that his family owned the largest house on Ibiza? Did you know that then he lived in Switzerland and he was gonna do a multi-billion-dollar energy company deal with some billionaire in Brazil, and then that fell through? So he got into the modeling business instead. You will find, if you Google Paolo Zampolli, he founded ID Models. What does that mean? Well, if you spend hours of your life that you can never get back looking into it, you'll find that he bought a company called American Models, and he turned that into ID Models. But you will also find that before that, he owned a company called Metropolitan Models that was based in Paris. Yes, he was based in Paris, just like Carine Models and Jean-Luc Brunel. And then he comes to New York and he runs Metropolitan for a little while, and then they sue him. So he leaves Metro and buys American from some guy. Who is that guy? You dig into it and you find a lawsuit. 2004, Shelton versus Elite, where basically every modeling agency in New York and Miami was being sued into bankruptcy because for years they had been deliberately stealing from all of their models' pay. And that guy who owned American Models, he's right there next to Paolo, but he's not involved. He's a weird one. You spend hours looking into him because he claims that he discovered Estelle Lefebvre. He discovered her and he represented her exclusively, and then you look into who actually represented her and his name doesn't fucking come up. So you dig and you dig and you dig and you find Paolo Zampoli's WordPress Web 1.0 looking ass website where he says he is the CEO of something called Fashion Investment Group. What's Fashion Investment Group? Well, when you Google it, you get fucking nothing because it's not a company. Or is it? If you go even harder and you spend more hours of your life looking into it, you find that not only is there one fashion investment group, there are a bunch of them. And they're owned by some interesting people. For example, the one that's registered in Florida is owned by a former Eastern European gang member. And if you Google that guy to find out that he's a gang member, you Google him and you Google him and you Google him and you eventually find this crazy fucking webpage with this wild sheet. It's got all of these associations between different people. And the first name that I saw on this big web was Donald and Melania Trump. Yeah, it's a graph of connections between Russia and Eric Prince and the Trumps and this gang. That this guy, Alexander Taflovich, who runs Fashion Investment Group in Florida, he was in this gang. It gets worse, because while you're Googling for Fashion Investment Group and you look on Open Corporates, you type in Fashion Investment Group, and then you see a list of people, and you see that Paolo Zampoli's name is not on some of these corporations, and there are other names that you don't recognize. So you Google those people's names. You find another Open Corporates page where someone named Augusto Ho and Anna Melina Ho, and I'm remembering these names off the top of my head because it's burned into the back of my eyes. Augusto and Anna Melina Ho run, on paper, the fashion investment group that's based in Panama, but there's another company. It's called ID Inversiones y Desarrollos. That company does not have Paolo on it, but it's called ID. Both of these companies were started in 2004, and in 2004, that was when the Shelton versus Elite lawsuit was going on, and all of these modeling agencies, including Paolo, were worried about going bankrupt. To the best of my recollection, Paolo actually got out of that lawsuit. He was no longer a defendant, but companies were going under. Elite Model Management, that was run by John Casablanca since the 70s, went bankrupt and went up for sale. In 2004, Paolo Zampolli and Jeffrey Epstein tried to buy Elite. They failed. They got outbid by someone named Trump. It wasn't Donald. It's these two weird brothers, and it's really hard to find anything about these two weird brothers. But their name is Trump. Isn't that weird? But when that deal falls through, and he doesn't get Jeff's money to buy Elite, he's got to go looking. He takes Donnie, the actual Trump, up on a deal that was offered to him the year before. Donnie said, "Come join me in real estate. You'll do way better than with the models. The models, that's just for girls. Come make money with me." So in 2004, Paolo takes him up on that. But he wants to stay in the modeling game. So he does. Through these two companies, the Fashion Investment Group, which on his weird Web 1.0 fucking website says is ID Models and some other company. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. It's not these two companies that are based in Panama, a country known for money laundering. Remember, one of these Panama companies is called Fashion Investment Group, and it's got Paolo's name on it. The other one has ID. The company that he owns in New York, it's called ID Inversiones, and his name is not on it. But Augusto and Anna Molina are, along with a guy named Eli Hadid Wabe. Wabe ran a company, modeling agency called Class Models in Brazil until he split ways with his old partner to found Mega Models in Brazil. Mega was founded before ID Inversiones. But again, the modeling industry was very much in flux. In 2004, Paolo comes in, he brings some business partners, he's got a tax shelter, it's in Panama, he knows how to wheel and deal, and now he's in the same building working in real estate with Donald Trump. A huge selling point. How did I find any of this information? I fucking found it. There's no news article to tell you that this happened. As far as the public is concerned, it never did. Each step in this process takes, I am not joking, hours and hours and hours, sometimes tens of hours before you find another discovery. But today was a big day, and I'm going to give you a tiny little bite. One of the things that I found, not today but recently, is that the address for ID Men in New York City is the same fucking address as Fashion TV New York. Not only that, Michelle Adam is not Michelle Adam. Michelle Adam is Adam Lazowski, or Michelle Adam Lazowski, or maybe Gabriel Lazowski. See, Michelle, or Adam, went to Thailand for many years and made a bunch of money in like textiles or something. And so when he comes back, he's living in France, he's living in Switzerland, and he, I swear to God, this is not a joke, seems to have invented an alternate persona and told people that it is his older brother, Gabriel Lazowski. That guy does not exist. There are no photos. I've got documents, I've got lawsuits that name an Adam Lazowski and a Gabriel Lazowski. I've got articles saying that Gabriel owns the Germany branch and Michelle or Adam owns the France branch of Fashion TV. That's fucking bullshit. Gabriel is not real. If you spend enough time Googling, you'll find a Polish website that is basically a mini biography of Adam Lazowski. And it talks about his childhood. His parents were muckety-mucks in Poland, in the Communist Party, and he was born and then they moved, and it gives all of these early life details, and it talks about him starting Fashion TV, and when he went to Thailand and he came back and started Fashion TV, and guess whose name doesn't fucking come up? Gabriel Lazowski. This man is not real. There are no photographs. That he keeps being called like the head or the director. I find corporate paperwork, none of which has Adam Lazowski or Michelle Adam or any combination thereof. It all has Gabriel Lazowski. He is the registrar of these Fashion TV companies. Some of these companies in some countries don't have a Lazowski on them at all. Are they affiliated? I don't know. They're called Fashion TV. There was a patent troll who sued this company. Oh, it gets way weirder. Who sued Fashion TV to use he claimed that he had dibs on the fashion TV trademark. He didn't. He lost that lawsuit. But in that suit, he names a Gabriel and an Adam. He also names Oleg Boyko. Oleg Boyko is a Russian oligarch who secretly, through a couple of shell companies, bought up most of fashion TV. And fashion TV, as it previously existed, is no longer registered. I have not yet found the new corporate registration for this company. But Boyko also bought 63A Trump Tower, and pretty famously a few years ago got busted running a huge gambling ring out of this apartment in a Trump building. There's more. Because if you dig hard enough, you find that Michelle Adam, in a Canadian patent licensing thing that declares that a certain company owns a patent in a particular year, 1999, Michelle Adams' name with Fashion TV, with the logo, with everything, is connected to 22 Avenue Foch in Paris. Guess who owned 22 Avenue Foch apartments? There are multiple apartments in the building. I can't yet prove that it's the same units, but I have not found a date later than 1999 showing that Michelle lived there, that Adam lived there, Adam Lazowski, whatever the fuck his name is, Gabe, lived on 22 Avenue Foch after 99. I can't find that information. But fucking Jeffrey Epstein bought what was famously a palatial apartment. And that apartment that Lazowski owned was huge. You know how we know? Because fucking Paolo Zampolli in 1997. You can find a PDF of a print article showing you that Paolo threw a rager at a gigantic apartment on Avenue Foch in 1997 when he was still the head of Metropolitan Models. And in that same article, guess who else gets referenced? Jean-Luc Brunel. Paolo Zampolli and Jean-Luc Brunel were both invited to the same event for some modeling company based in Ocean Grove, New Jersey. Each and every fact that I just told you is something that I had to fucking dig for. So if you enjoyed listening to this rant and you would like more details, because there's more, believe it or not, please consider subscribing to my page, consider following this account, and look for me on other platforms. I have a YouTube where I post these same videos, but you're more likely to see them across multiple algorithms. I also have a Twitter. Tragic, I know, but it is what it is. I also have Blue Sky, also have Substack. It's all CWR_JD except for Substack. That's CWRESQ, no underscore, no space. Thank you.